Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. It is time for another Metal Earth kit. Time for another Mass Effect kit. Let's go ahead and knock another one of these out. Today I'm going to put together the SR2 Normandy. Let's open this up, find out what's inside and what we need to put it together. SR2 Normandy. Every one of these Mass Effect kits gives me a little bit of trouble getting the parts out. I wonder how long these sat in a warehouse before I got them. Metal sheet and instructions. And I noticed that one side is blank. So again, this is just probably the front side. And here we are. We've got an older yellow single piece of paper instructions. At the top you have the name, and you have the little line drawing of the ship, some information about fold lines, tabs, slots, a little bit about those pliers, and a legend or key where the circle, blue circle, means to bend the tabs at 90 degrees. The green triangle means to twist, and you'll see those blue circles and green triangles in different areas of the instructions. There's a green triangle, there's a green triangle, blue circles, and it just tells you how to deal with the tabs. And then the way these are treated, it's like each quarter is another page of sorts. This is page 1 where the assembly starts with parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go to the bottom corner, pick up from there, and then this corner until the end, and just basically follow, for the most part, the order of numbers of parts in their red arrows. Tools that I use: pliers. Pliers are very good. Long needle nose pliers are excellent for a great many things. Flat nose pliers are great for certain bends, and it's essential to have some sort of clippers to be able to easily and cleanly remove the parts from the sheets. Tweezers are very helpful. They're very small and easy to manage. They're great for holding on to small parts, great for making small bends, great for twisting and bending some of the tabs. I like to have an assortment of different kinds. I have a fairly normal set of tweezers, a thinner set, and a couple of sets with very pointed ends for getting into very small areas. We have our instructions, we have our metal sheets, and we have some tools. Let's get started.
It is usually a good idea to bend all the tabs in the same direction towards the next connection so that the tabs and the slots line up easier. I often bend over the long thin sides of a base by pushing them against the table. It took a lot of shaping, checking the fit, bending, checking the fit, back and forth until I got the curve of the main body to sit properly. It would have been easier if I had a long tapered rod that was close to the right size, but I used the tools that I had and slowly worked it out. I often use my fingernails to bend over tabs. Part 8 was a bit tricky at first. It was difficult to hold straight and get the two side tabs connected. The method I found that worked for me was to bend over one of the end tabs a bit, then insert the other end tab into its slot, then kind of pivot it until the middle tab is in its slot, pulling the other side around, and then pushing the remaining side over the slot or tab into its place. These tabs come out in a slightly tucked away spot. I bent the tabs inward on this part and then carefully pinched the tabs down with the tweezers. Bending the side pieces over without warping the thin metal at the end of this part is impossible. The best I could do was try to push and pinch it back into shape. I tried several different methods to keep it from warping, but nothing completely worked. Most of the rest of this kit is building the other three upper pieces and attaching them to the wing. They all have the same 5 parts that attach in the upper sections in the same way. The outer sections are a little smaller and the pieces smaller, but other than that, they're pretty well identical. I tried using the needle nose pliers to hold onto the middle while I bent over the side, but then the side ended up a little warped. What probably helped the most for bending over those side pieces was pushing back up on it after I'd bent the side down. It helped to straighten things out a bit. This video has been edited down. I have not shown all the different attempts, adjustment, or retries of this build. I also clip out parts where I am studying the directions, searching for and clipping parts, and some repetitive steps. It may make it look like this kit came together easier than it did, but there is a lot of bending and adjusting of parts to make things fit. Work slowly, be patient, and take your time. With all the parts on, it's just a matter of folding down the 2 points on the front and then the wings.
SR2 Normandy. This kit, like all the Mass Effect kits, is just one single sheet, so it's not very complicated. It's just a lot of little parts and things to align to get it to come together. Probably is one of the more difficult of the kits that I've done so far because of having to curve this upper area, and it doesn't curve into a straight line. It's kind of larger in the middle and smaller on each end, so it takes a little bit more finesse to get that together. And bending the sides, these 4 pieces here, the top parts, have some long thin sides that are difficult to get a hold of with a tool to bend them all over at once. Plus the middle here is very thin. There's like a hole, so the metal that's supposed to stay straight versus the metal that bends over, it's very thin and it warps. So it's a real fight to try and get the piece that bends over without bending over the part that doesn't. And I tried several different methods, and I can't really say anything worked that much greater than the other. I tried pushing them against the table by holding the middle. I tried 2 different tools. I tried a lot of things. It's just difficult. Just the way this kit is, the best I can suggest is maybe to try and bend the sides over and then push the middle piece back into shape as best you can. Again, I feel this kind of attests to the poor design of the kit. It's not bad, but I've noticed a lot of the newer kits, these side pieces, as long as they are newer kits, would have probably been broken up into smaller sections that come down together. I feel perhaps I should have done that with at least some of these sides to make it easier to form the part without warping it. But that's my opinion. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Any suggestions and things you'd like to see built, let me know in the comments or send me a message. Thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.